The Physiology of a Trigger Point, from the book The Trigger Point Therapy Workbook. The place where contraction actually occurs in muscle fiber is a microscopic unit called a sarcomere. Millions of sarcomeres have to contract in your muscle to make even the smallest movement. A trigger point exists when overstimulated sarcomeres become unable to release their contracted state. Normally, sarcomeres act like tiny pumps, contracting and releasing to circulate blood through the capillaries that supply their metabolic needs. When sarcomeres in a trigger point hold their contraction, blood flow essentially stops in the immediate area. The resulting oxygen starvation and accumulation of the waste products of metabolism irritate the trigger point. The trigger point responds to this emergency by sending out pain signals until the brain institutes a policy of rest for the muscle. You stop using the muscle, which then begins to shorten and tighten up. To learn more about sarcomeres and the complex chemistry of muscle contraction, consult any good biology or anatomy textbook. Central trigger points. Solving the problem of myofascial pain hinges on locating central trigger points, or those which occur in the center of a muscle. Trigger point always originate at the midpoint of the muscle's fibers. This is where the motor nerve enters, bringing the signals which tell the muscle to contract. This also happens to be just the place where sarcomeres get into trouble, locking up and forming a trigger point. Knowing how to find the belly, the enlarged fleshy part of a muscle, often brings you right to the trigger points that are causing the pain. The problem gets more complex when the fibers don't run from end to end in a muscle. The orientation of the fibers in muscles varies depending on the job they're designed to do. In a muscle made for speed, the fibers are parallel, running straight from end to end, and its trigger points are easily found, just as expected, halfway along it. However, a muscle made for power will have muscles running diagonally at some angle to its length. A diagram for such fiber arrangement looks like a feather, or sometimes a feather bisected down the middle. Since trigger points may be found in the center of each individual fiber, they may be situated anywhere along the muscle.